reporter for CoStar News Hotels, and I'm joined today by Jason Kreul, Chief Operating Officer at Remington Hospitality. Jason, thanks for joining me today.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Thank you.
So you've been in your new role now since last August. So
Yes.
How has the transition been?
It's been great. Actually, very, very smooth. When Ben Perlmutter, the CEO, started a few months before me, I came in shortly after Ben, and I mean we inherited a great group of very talented people to work with, and it's success in this business is always about great talent. And we had some open positions when we first came on board, and we were able to find some talented people outside the organization to come join us. Corey Chambers became our Chief Commercial Officer, probably one of the best minds on the commercial side of the business in the industry. And we've been able to bring on some really talented vice presidents of operations from other companies, outside of Remington, and really it's just it's changed the whole dynamic, but it's been great.
Yeah, amazing. Well, how would you define what Remington is focused on right now?
Yeah, so I think that one's pretty simple. It's, we have always had 5 drivers, and those 5 drivers are the foundation of everything we do. And, it's about guest satisfaction. It's about, being top of market in market share results, revenue. It's about, managing our expenses better than anyone. And it's about, taking care of people and taking care of our hotels. So those sort of 5 things is what we're really focused on. We've tried to set very, very clear yet fair expectations for all of our general managers at every hotel around those 5 drivers, because that, at the end of the day, is what's going to add value to a hotel. So that's where our focus has been.
So looking at 2026, where are the growth opportunities for Remington?
Yeah, I think, from a growth standpoint, we've been leaning in heavily to the Caribbean, Latin America market, and we've had some great opportunities that have come our way there. We've delivered great results for a lot of different owners, and there's still a lot more opportunity for great operators in the Caribbean and Latin America, and we just need to, continue to capitalize on those opportunities.
Mm-hmm. What about cost management this year? How important is that? How important is that to owners and operators both?
Yeah, it's extremely important. We live in an environment where our revenue growth is fairly muted across the country, and we need to be creative on how we drive revenue. We're going to be more focused on ADR growth, because it's a lot more profitable to drive RevPAR through ADR. I think that will be a big enhancement to our profitability. We have some great strategies around that. And then just using the foundation that we've always had in cost control. There's really no company in our industry that manages costs better than Remington. And so if you couple that focus with great performance on the top line, it's going to translate to higher NOI on the bottom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know no one was sad to see the end of 2025, especially with some of the performance challenges and disappointing kind of metrics in that. How did Remington do, and what are your expectations for, is that going to continue into 2026?
Yeah, I mean, I think from a big picture standpoint, we outperformed our competitors on market share. So we grew revenue more than our competitors did in just about every market that we operate in. So that's the starting point. And then from a expense management controls, some of the things that we've done to control labor, ensure that we manage those costs well, including all operating expenses. We were able to win because we grew market share and we kept our margins really tight from an expense standpoint. So that served us well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and kind of in the same vein, how does Remington stay competitive and outpace its competitors?
Yeah, I think for me, it always goes back to talent, right? And you've got to have the right people on the bus. You got to have the right team in place. And if you have the right team in place and you have, clear, reasonable expectations on how we're going to win at every single hotel, that's the magic formula, right? We're in a decentralized business, so I always tell my team at the corporate office that we can't manage a hotel from the corporate office. We've got to have a great leader in every general manager seat, and every general manager has to have a great leader in every one of their seats within their hotel. And if we do that, we create great expectations. We work closely with our ownership groups, ensuring that they're getting the attention that they need, that they're satisfied. If we do those things, it's pretty simple. We'll win every time.
Yeah. Let's pretend you have a crystal ball. What do you expect from 2026 for the hotel industry as a whole?
Yeah, I think the RevPAR growth is still going to be a challenge. The teams with the best strategy are going to win. I think it's we can't just take prices up. We really have to look at the mix of our business, and we have to make sure we're focused on the most profitable channels within that business. And that's the type of growth that we want to experience next year. I think the cost control pressures are going to continue to be there. There's just a lot of forces working against us with energy costs, labor costs. So I think our disciplines around cost control are going to be critical.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Jason, thank you so much for your time today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Hello, I'm Luke Haynes, People Newsletter Editor CoStar News, and the host of Top Credentials, a monthly podcast exploring the colourful careers of those working at the top of UK commercial real estate. In the episodes, we discover the valuable lessons influencing the daily decision-making of property sector leaders, and hear about the aspects of their job that make it a little easier to get out of bed each morning. We'll also ask for their views on the latest news and policies shaping our constantly evolving industry, and even get them to share a famous quote or song title they think defines their career or the profession. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
This episode of the CoStar News Hotels podcast was recorded on January 26th, 2026. It was recorded by Meredith Sheridan and edited for the podcast by me, Natalie Harms. Find all hotel industry news at costar.com/hotelnews. Thanks for listening.